Status check. Go Delta.
Go WGS 8.
25.
Green board.
Flight lock in.
SRM TVC blowdown.
15.
Prophy ignition.
T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We have engine ignition. 2, 1. And liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta IV rocket carrying the WGS-8 mission for the United States Air Force.
R68 performing well. Fuel injector and chamber pressure looking good. 20 seconds into flight. Burn profiles on the 4 solid rocket motors all looking good. 30 seconds in. Mach 1 vehicle is now transonic.
You're hearing the voice of Patrick Moore providing launch vehicle ascent data.
Now passing max Q, maximum dynamic pressure. RS-68 continuing to perform well. Chamber pressures and injector pressures looking good. Burn profiles on the 4 solid rocket motors also looking good. Now passing 1 minute into flight. Approximately 30 seconds remaining in the solid rocket motor burn. Delta IV is now 12 nautical miles in altitude, 10 miles downrange, traveling at 2,000 miles per hour. 1 minute, 20 seconds in. Standing by for SRM burnout shortly. And we have solid rocket motor burnout. Standing by for separation. And we have good indication of separation of all 4 solid rocket motors. The Delta IV rocket now weighs just half of what it did at launch, burning propellant at a rate of almost 2,000 pounds per second. 1 minute, 55 seconds into flight.
6. Green board.
25.
Flight lock in.
SRM TVC blowdown.
T minus 15.
Prophy ignition.
T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta IV rocket carrying the Space 6 mission for the United States Air Force.
Good chamber pressure on the main engine. Good chamber pressure on both solid rocket motors. 17 seconds into the flight. Good engine control in the first stage. 25 seconds in.
You are hearing the voice of Steve Agate providing launch vehicle
Chamber
ascent
pressures
data.
beginning to trail off with the solid rocket motors as expected, as we're passing 33 seconds. Altitude passing 2.2 nautical miles. 37 seconds in. .44 seconds, Mach 1. Vehicle now going transonic. Passing 50 seconds, still looking good. 57 seconds, max Q, maximum dynamic pressure on the vehicle, passing the 1 minute mark. Altitude now 7.3 nautical miles, velocity 2,713 feet per second, downrange distance 4.5 nautical miles. About 20 seconds now remaining until the solid rocket motors burn out. Still looking good at 1 minute, 20 seconds in. Standing by for SRB burnout. Burnout. Standing by for separation. And separation. With separation of the solid rocket boosters, 1 minute, 48 seconds in. Now 1 minute, 51 seconds. The Delta IV rocket only weighs now 1/2 of what it did at launch, burning propellant at the rate of 1,947 pounds per second. Passing 2 minutes.
30.
Status check.
Go Delta.
Go NRL 37. Green board.
25,
Flight lock in.
20, 15,
Trophy ignition.
T-minus
10,
10,
9,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We have main engine ignition. 2, 1, and liftoff. Liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta IV Heavy rocket carrying the nrol 37 mission for the National Reconnaissance Office.
Chamber pressure holding in the port and starboard booster in the full thrust mode, and in the core booster in the partial thrust mode. Altitude now passing 9.2 nautical miles, velocity 2,533 feet per second, downrange distance 4.96 nautical miles. 1 minute, 49 seconds in.
We're listening to Steve Agid providing launch vehicle ascent data.
Hydrazine pressurization valve is now on in the second stage as second stage systems are coming online. Passing 2 minutes, 7 seconds. Altitude now passing 15.8 nautical miles. Velocity 3,854 feet per second. Downrange distance 11.51 nautical miles. 2 minutes, 20 seconds in. Still looking good.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Go Delta.
Go L45. Green board.
Minus 25 seconds. Flight lock in. 23.
SRM TVC blowdown.
T-minus 15, 14,
Trophy
Igniters
igniters armed.
12, 11, 10.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta IV rocket carrying the nrol 45 mission for the National Reconnaissance Office.
Good chamber pressure on both solid rocket motors. 17 seconds into the flight.
You are hearing the voice of Steve Agid providing launch vehicle
Good
ascent
engine control
data.
on the first stage. Coming up 30 seconds. Mark, 30 seconds in. Altitude now 1.5 nautical miles. Velocity 1,396 feet per second. Downrange distance about 1/4 of a mile. Chamber pressure is beginning to drop now, and the solid rocket motors as expected. Coming up on 45 seconds. Still looking good. 49 seconds. Mach 1. Vehicle now going transonic. 56 seconds. Max Q. Maximum dynamic pressure in the vehicle. Passing the 1 minute mark. Altitude now 6.3 nautical miles. Velocity 1,698 per second. Downrange distance 1.58 nautical miles. About 30 seconds remain now. Solid rocket motors burn out. One minute, 24 seconds into the flight. Still looking good. Chamber pressure holding in the first stage. Standing by for solid rocket motor burnout just a few seconds from now. And we have burnout standing by for SEP. And we have solid rocket motor separation. 1 minute 52 seconds in. Coming up 1:58. Mark, 1 minute 58 seconds into the flight. Delta IV rocket now only weighs 1/2 as much as it did at launch, expelling propellant at the rate of 1,945 pounds per second. 2 minutes, 10 seconds into the flight.
15.
Rofi ignition.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We have ignition. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta IV rocket carrying the 7th WGS satellite for the United States Air Force. The wideband global SATCOM satellite provides significantly increased capacity for our nation's leaders, warfighters, and international partners.
Maximum SRM chamber pressure now. Coming up 30 seconds. 34 seconds, Mach 1, vehicle now going transonic. Passing 40 seconds, altitude 3.7 nautical miles. 45 seconds, maximum dynamic pressure, max Q on the vehicle. 50 seconds in. Altitude 6.38 nautical miles, velocity 2,532 feet per second, downrange distance 4.43 nautical miles. 1 minute into the flight.
You are hearing the voice
1
of
minute,
Steve
10
Agate
seconds.
providing launch vehicle ascent data.
Miles, velocity 3,646 feet per second, downrange distance 7.44 nautical miles. Standing by for a solid rocket motor burnout, about 10 seconds from now. And we have burnout, standing by for SEP. And we have separation. 4 solid rocket motors have separated. 1 minute, 50 seconds in. Delta vehicle now weighs half of what it weighed at launch, expelling propellant at the rate of 1,945 pounds per second. 2 minutes into the flight. Altitude now passing 35.5 nautical miles. Velocity 6,443 feet per second. Downrange distance 34 nautical miles.
GPS. Green board.
25.
Flight lock in.
23.
SRM TDC blowdown.
15.
Rofi ignition.
10.
T-minus
Fisher
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We have ignition of the RS-68 engine, and we have liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta IV rocket carrying the 9th GPS-2F satellite for the United States Air Force. The Global Positioning System provides worldwide positioning, navigation, and timing service for military and civilian users.
20 seconds into the flight. Good engine control on the first stage. Now passing 30 seconds. Altitude now 1.5 nautical miles. Velocity 1,659 feet per second. Downrange distance 3.8 nautical miles. 40 seconds in. Chamber pressure beginning to decrease in the
You are
solid
hearing the
rocket motors
voice
as
of Steve
expected.
Agate
As
providing
we're-
launch vehicle ascent data.
50 seconds. Mach 1. Vehicle going transonic. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. Mark, 1 minute, 1 second, max Q, maximum dynamic pressure in the vehicle. $70 seconds in. We have about 20 seconds left in solid rocket motors before they burn out as we pass 11.5 nautical miles. Standing by for burnout. We have burnout. Standing by for separation. We have separation. Good separation of the solid rocket motors. 1 minute, 50 seconds in.
Go SMAP.
T-minus 15 seconds. Green board. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Main engines start and liftoff of the Delta II rocket with SMAP, making global observations of soil moisture for climate forecasting.
Good chamber pressure on both vernier engines. Good chamber pressure on all three solids. 27 seconds into the flight. Coming up 46 seconds, still looking good. 50 seconds in, Mach Q. Vehicle now having maximum dynamic pressure in the vehicle. 57 seconds. Chamber pressure beginning to decline on the solids, as expected. And we have burnout of the solids. We'll be holding on to those solids for about 30 more seconds to assure a safe water impact point. 1 minute, 12 seconds into the flight. Still looking good. One minute, 25 seconds. Chamber pressure holding in the main engine and in both verniers. 1 minute, 30 seconds. Standing by for separation. And we have separation of the solid rocket motors. The Delta II vehicle now only weighs 1/2 of what it did at launch, expelling propellant at the rate of 799 pounds per second. 1 minute, 55 seconds in.
Rofi ignition.
10,
The igniters have been lit.
9, 8, 7, 6,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And liftoff at dawn. The dawn of Orion and a new era of American space exploration.
Good engine control in the first stage. Passing 25 seconds. Velocity 1,341 feet per second. Passing 31 seconds, still looking good. Good engine control. Good chamber pressure in all three boosters in the full power mode. 40 seconds in. Standing by to go to the partial thrust mode in the core. And we have partial thrust command in the core. Core chamber pressure beginning to drop as expected as we're coming up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute into the flight. Still looking good. Good chamber pressure in the core booster in the partial thrust mode. Good chamber pressure in port and starboard in full power mode. One minute, 15 seconds into the flight. We have the hydrazine supply valve open in the second stage. 1 minute, 22 seconds in. Max Q, maximum dynamic pressure in the vehicle. Passing 124, Mach 1. Orion and Delta IV now transcending the speed of sound. 1 minute, 31 seconds in. Good engine control in the first stage. Coming up 1 minute, 40 seconds. Velocity now 1,341 feet per second. 1 minute, 50 seconds in. Still looking good. Coming up on 2 minutes. 2 minutes into the flight. Good engine control on the first stage. Port and starboard boosters still at good chamber pressures in the full power mode, and good core chamber pressure in the partial thrust mode at 2 minutes, 22 seconds in. Two minutes, 35 seconds in, still looking good. Coming up on the 2 minute, 43 second mark. 2 minutes, 43 seconds. The Delta IV of heavy rocket now just weighs 1/2 as much as it did at launch, burning propellant at the rate of 4,744 pounds per second.
SRM TVC blowdown.
15.
Rofig ignition.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We have ignition of the RS-68 engine. 2, 1. We have liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta IV rocket carrying the App Space 4 mission for the United States Air Force.
Good chamber pressure on the main engine.
You are hearing the voice of Steve Agate providing launch vehicle ascent data.
Good symmetrical burn. 17 seconds in. Seconds in, still looking good. Good engine control on the first stage. Passing 35 seconds, chamber pressure beginning to drop in the solids as expected. 40 seconds in. Good chamber pressure in the main engine. Coming up 47 seconds. Mark 47 seconds, Mach 1. Vehicle now going transonic. Altitude now passing 5 nautical miles, coming up on 1 minute. Mark, 60 seconds in, Mach 2, maximum dynamic pressure in the vehicle. Downrange distance about 4.5 nautical miles. 1 minute, 12 seconds in, still looking good. Just had the hydrazine supply valve open in the second stage, on time. 1 minute, 23 seconds, about 10 seconds now remaining in the solids. Standing by for solid rocket motor burnout. Burnout. Standing by for SEP. And separation. Solid rocket motors have successfully separated from the vehicle. 1 minute, 50 seconds in. 1 minute, 56 seconds in, the Delta IV rocket now only weighs 1/2 of what it did at launch, burning propellant at the rate of 1,856 pounds per second. 2 minutes, 5 seconds in. Altitude now 26 nautical miles, velocity 5,753 feet per second, downrange distance 28.4 nautical miles.
T-minus 30. Status check. Go Delta 2 and go OCO 2. T-minus 20.
20 seconds. T-minus 15 seconds. Green board. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Engine start. 1, 0 and liftoff of the Delta II rocket with OCO2. Tracking a greenhouse gas in seek of clues to climate change.
Good chamber pressure in both verniers. Good chamber pressure in the 3 solids. Good symmetrical burn. 22 seconds in. Still looking good. Altitude coming up on 1 mile. Range distance 7.3 nautical miles. Velocity 959 miles per hour. 1. 50 seconds in, maximum dynamic pressure. Standing by for the solids, dropping in chamber pressure. And we have burnout of the 3 solids. We'll be holding on to those solids for about 40 seconds to assure a safe water impact point. 1 minute, 7 seconds into the flight. Altitude now 7.2 nautical miles, downrange distance 10 nautical miles, velocity 991 miles per hour. 1 minute, 17 seconds in. About 15 seconds now until we expect those 3 solid boosters to separate from the vehicle as we're approaching the 1 minute, 30 second mark. And we have separation. 3 solids have separated from the vehicle.
30.
Status check. Go Delta. Go GPS. Green board.
25.
Flight lock-in.
23.
SRM TVC blowdown.
15.
Rough ignition.
This is Delta Mission Control at T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We have ignition of the RS-68 main engine. 1, 0, and we have liftoff. Liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta IV rocket carrying the 6th GPS-2F satellite for the United States Air Force. The Global Positioning System provides worldwide positioning, navigation, and timing services for military and civilian users. You're now hearing the voice of Tim Holt providing launch vehicle ascent data.
Vehicle control appears nominal. Mach 1. Max Q, the vehicle's flying through the region of maximum aerodynamic pressure. Vehicle is 8 miles in altitude, 22 miles downrange, traveling at 1,270 miles per hour. Solid rocket motors starting their thrust tail off. Solid motor jettison.
Seconds.
Status check. Go Delta.
Go GPS. Green board.
25.
Flight lock-in.
23.
SRM TVC blowdown.
15.
Rofi ignition.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We have RS-68 engine ignition. 2, 1, and liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta IV rocket carrying the 5th GPS-2F satellite for the United States Air Force. The Global Positioning System provides worldwide positioning, navigation, and timing service for military and civilian users. You're hearing the voice of Ski Baggett providing launch vehicle ascent data.
30 seconds in. Still looking good. Chamber pressure beginning to decline now and trail off in the solid rocket motors. As expected, coming up on 40 seconds. Control continues to look good. 47 seconds, Mach 1. Vehicle now going transonic. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. Mark, 1 minute, Max Q, maximum dynamic pressure in the vehicle. About 30 seconds remain on our solids. Good engine control, symmetrical burn. Altitude now 9 nautical miles. 1 minute, 18 seconds in. Burnout about 10 seconds from now, standing by. Chamber pressure decreasing in both solids. And burnout standing by for separation. And separation, both solid rocket motors have separated from the launch vehicle. 1 minute, 45 seconds into the flight.